You put me on the spot now.
Back though.
Don't stop. Mate, cheers.
Good to see you.
You too.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. Wow, did you finish your beer?
Yeah.
I'm lagging. I'm actually lagging.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, it's that little Rob, it's that little marine Rob. Oh, that's nice.
I'm only rubbing your back.
It's
Well,
so I've got no idea. What do you think we should? What was it you wanted to call this podcast?
shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles, crisps and wine. That's not a bad fucking name. On a shits and giggles, crisps and wine.
And just for Trent.
Mate, it's there's so much fucking podcasts out there in the world. Simon, be serious. This is like eloquent decadence. Mate, honestly, right? Like I've been wanting to sit down with you and have this conversation about so much stuff.
We've been threatening for a while.
We have. It's been on the back burner. We're gonna do it. We're really doing to do it.
Last time we just got drunk.
There it was.
And ate curry.
I knew it was there. That was it. That little rub at the end helped. Right. So, I mean, I'm not going to fucking care about introductions. Simon, Steve, I just wanted to fucking say how much I fucking think you're a fucking crazy bastard. I do, mate.
I thank you, sir.
You honestly, man, you've done some crazy stuff, and here's the wild child. Is it?
Yes, it's true.
You have done some fantastic work, and yeah, but you have, mate. No bullshit, right? Like we're sitting here, we're having a few beers. We're both ex-forces. We've both seen some shit.
Yes,
We've both done some shit.
true.
I would like to say, I think you've rolled about a little bit much more shit than I have.
Because I'm more stupid than you.
But
You had sense.
well, no, they kicked me out long before that. Tell me about what you're doing right now. Honestly, man, like you got some really cool stuff going on.
Okay. So having just published my second book,
Congratulations.
cheers, which took 10 years. Fucking hell.
Wow, really?
Yeah, arse ache.
Why? Why did it take 10 years? I mean, I know that it's difficult.
It's
It's
a
really
lot harder than people think. It was a lot harder than I bloody thought. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
I think because I was busy. I knew I wanted to write a book about it about 3 years after I started using the process to write the book about.
Okay.
But it just the timing was never quite right, and I didn't have enough. I suppose I didn't have enough experience of using it in order to write something worthwhile about it. Mm-hmm. And then it became a training course, and the manual for the training course initially to start things off, and then I wrote. And I'm looking back on it. I wrote the manual for the course in 2018 while it was just two of us running a mental health charity.
Yeah.
For veterans, which was absolutely swamped.
I mean, you've been a busy individual. You've been a very busy. You've helped so many people.
It's been fucking insane, really.
I mean, like the first time it's, I knew of you because we did a documentary.
Almost makes me nervous.
Yeah, I was watching you from a bar. It's just going to be so serious, this talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we made the mistake of having, yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, man, I knew of you. I saw, I did a quick Google search. I do things like that, like I'll Google, who have we got around the area of Grampian, like, because there's not a fucking lot.
No, it's not, no.
Like, there's like next to nothing. There's really not a lot. So, the mental health and well-being and turnaround and trauma really is, the NHS cannot cope. They fucking physically can't cope.
No, I feel sorry for them.
Honestly, yeah, big time. And there's such a massive strain on them. And it's not just fucking veterans and military. You've got police, mountain rescue, you've got divorce, you've got drug rehabilitation, you've got alcohol.
Yep.
It's across the board.
Absolutely.
Fire, fire
the
brigade.
shit they deal with on a regular basis with the road traffic as well as
yeah,
the fires. Jesus.
Yeah, so you've got, the idea of trauma and how we cope with it and how we help people.
Yep.
Not to get over it, but to go through it and to get them to understand it.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff. And yet, here you are, someone who's been through an enormous amount of trauma, and you figured out so much of it. I do a lot of work with people, but what you have done, So I talk to people, and I get them to open up. I don't know how to fix people. You do.
Well, to a degree, I guess.
I'm not saying cure, but you do know how to. You have sharpened the blade to a point to get people to cut through the bullshit.
Yeah, I don't do bullshit and flannel and pissing around, really.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, I've found that by the time people have come to me when I was working on my own, and then was setting up the charity, they've been around the bazaars a few times and tried all sorts of different things and got nowhere, or haven't found what it was that they needed.
Okay.
And I haven't always been what that person needed, and I've had to refer on numerous occasions, because there's no one tool fixes everyone, and there's no one way that's the right path for fucking everybody on the planet. It's a very individual, subjective experience in overcoming the shitty things that happen in life.
So how does your and what do you call your treatment? You got a really nice name for it.
It's the immediate care process.
Yeah, the immediate care process. So what's so fucking good about what you're doing? For anyone watching this that doesn't know. Now I'm asking
I think because what it does, it's 3 self-regulation tools, and we talked about this just now, and somebody on a course a couple of years ago called them extraction tools, and this is where the comment that I made to Steve just now is, he says, how would you sum it up? And I said, well, it's a set of tools that help you pull your head out your ass.
I think that is phenomenal.
And I was thinking of extraction tools when that comment that I had a couple of years ago, and that's what made me think of it. And it's a set of 3 simple tools that help you to pull your head out your ass when it's in a flat spin and you don't know which way is up or down.
Yeah.
That's the essence of it. So there's three simple, and it's a 4-day course, because there's a lot of theory that underpins these very simple tools, and they're really simple to teach. It takes longer to understand how and why they work than to actually use them and learn how to use them. Because these 3 tools I teach to every client I've had in the last 11 years has received these tools in the first session because they help to self-regulate, so you can use them reactively for somebody who's in a shit state, and then they can use them straight after that. They can use them proactively for maintenance to help them self-regulate.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than feeling out of control of yourself, and when this thing kind of runs around rampant like a crazy coked up chimp with a dirty protest and shit and dishes and fucking furniture everywhere.
Brilliant visuals, love it.
It's complete carnage, isn't it?
That's what it's true.
You've experienced it. You know what it's like.
I have, yeah.
And it's a mess. So this kind of helps you calm things down
So why are you doing this? Like you're just so good at it, but why are you doing it?
I've been at that point, toes on the edge. How many years ago? So it would be 22 years ago? 98. 98. So what was that, 3 years ago?
23 years ago.
Yeah, 23 years ago. Fucking stroll on. My maths has improved. You can tell.
Yeah, I just turned up at the jam. That's my leg, by the way.
Oh no, I was just touching scratching your leg and mine. It's just an excuse.
Man, this is going to be so good when it goes online. So why?
I was I was getting medically discharged. My marriage was going down the pan. And so in the process having a married quarter, I was losing my home. So job, marriage, home, all in one foul swoop.
Some big fucking shit.
And my head was up my arse, and nobody at that point had managed to figure out how to pull it out. And I had access to weapons, and I was still in the military, obviously, and I took a pistol home, and I made phone calls inadvertently saying goodbye to people.
Yeah.
And one friend who I've known since I was 4 years old, for whatever reason, picked up on something. And he lived in Bournemouth, I was in North London. And he put the phone down, he got in his car and he drove from Bournemouth to North London. In the meantime, I was making other phone calls, sorting my admin out, getting everything squared away.
You'd made your mind up.
I'd made them up, yeah. And do you know what? The sense of peace and relief and calm when I'd made that decision was just unbelievable.
Let's talk about that.
Fucking phenomenal. Still to this day, before and after, have I ever felt that level of calm.
A lot of people don't want to talk about this.
No, they don't.
So let's talk about it.
Go for it.
A lot of people think that suicide is a coward's way out. We both know it's not.
Fuck you.
It is not a coward's way out. It's one of the hardest...
Try and do it.
Yeah. It's one of the hardest conversations to have with yourself.
Oh, it's huge.
It's not a quick...
No.
You do not arrive to that quickly.
No, this takes
a long time.
Yeah, it does. It's months, sometimes years.
Yeah.
For some people.
Now, do you know what? I want to kind of say something here. I might be wrong. I hate the concept of people saying it was a cry for help. There are not varying degrees of suicide. If you're on that fucking path, you're on that fucking path.
Mm-hmm.
You might be making mistakes and fucking it up. But you're eventually going to get to that day. And I am so proud of you for what you've just said. That I've never heard anyone say that. Why was it peaceful?
Because everything was over. It was done. It was a done deal. I knew exactly I knew when I was going to do it, where and how. I'd made peace with myself. I'd made peace with everybody else because I'd done my goodbyes. Or I was in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
And all the shit, all that pain and hurt in here it was done because I knew it was over.
Yeah. I'm glad you're still here, mate.
Me too.
Me too. Fuck, you fucked that up.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know. And do you know, I was because a friend of mine a year before had stuck a piss in his mouth and pulled the trigger, and he fucking survived.
I remember you telling me that.
Unfucking believable.
Hardy bastard.
Well, yeah. I mean, he lost teeth and his left eye, and basically the round went in up through his jaw, took teeth and pulled teeth out of his eye socket, but up into his jaw and his eye socket, and ricocheted round the back of his eye socket and exited up here.
I've tried to have that conversation with, and please know, I'm not getting on to civvies here or civilians who don't know, but you get a lot of people talking war. They've played games, they've watched movies, they think they know stuff, right? And I'm not an expert at this. I've been to war many times, but I am not an expert.
Fucking who is?
Exactly. But when I wept, the only function of a weapon is to kill or destroy life. That's it. There is no humanity behind it. It's to kill or to destroy life. That is the function of it. So when a round enters the body, it's not designed to just go through, as you know this. It's designed to ricochet off bone. Mm-hmm. Now, when I remember learning this and thinking, holy fuck.
That's going to hurt.
That's going to fucking hurt, man. You know, like, that's some gravy, that.
If it goes straight through, you're lucky.
You're lucky. And it's in every film. I've never yet seen it in a film where it actually show you what happens. Now, that description, what you just said there. Whoa.
He went down in medical history because basically where it hit the back of his eye socket, right at the back, it basically took the bone away and exposed the brain. So he was in medical history.
Wow.
For surviving because it was that close to a wonderful lunatic.
So that's that takes some courage to say what you just said there, Simon, and I want to...
Well, I sat with a pistol like that in my eye socket because I thought I don't want to fuck it up.
But you just said... So you've got the information of what had happened before.
Yeah.
You've got your years of experience in the military, right? We're not going to go into what you did, right? But, you know, you're an operator. You've been involved in certain things. But you understand, and you were saying there that you were at peace.
Yeah, 100%.
So this isn't a scary moment for you anymore.
No, it's flatline. I was just like, zen.
So what the fuck happened?
Well, my pal from Bournemouth rang the fucking doorbell. Irritating wanker. I was fucking raging.
Yeah.
I was sat there, I had a cup of tea, I had 2 chocolate digestives, because I fucking love those things.
Talking about suicide here, and the fact you got a fucking weapon, you've got a sidearm in your hands, you know what you're doing, you're peaceful, this is happening. Yeah. And you're talking about fucking cups of tea and digest. This is the most British discussion of suicide ever. This is amazing. Mate, this is amazing.
You know, NATO standard, mate, you know.
This is so good.
This is so good. Hot, wet, white and 2.
Oh, NATO.
Yep. So I was sat there, I literally sat like that with I was pressure on the trigger and the doorbell rang. I was like, you're fucking shitting me. So I thought, oh, fuck's sake, because I was thinking, I can't do that now, and then the poor fucker at the door hears it, and then I leave that for that person. That's just not fucking right. Obviously, somebody was going to find me at some point.
Yeah.
It still wasn't going to be right, but so I was like, oh, you fucking wanker. So I put the pistol under the cushion in the sofa.
Yeah.
Went to the doorbell, went and answered the door, and I was like, yes. And it was my mate, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing here? He said, well, you sounded pissed off on the phone, so I thought I'd come up. And he said, you're in shorts and t-shirt. He said, get your kit on, we're fucking going out. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? No. I was like, fuck off, I can't be bothered. He said, just shut up.
Yeah.
Do as you're told.
Yeah.
Go and get changed. We're going out.
He knew something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he knew, but a feeling.
Do you know, I didn't tell him until 2 years ago.
And how long ago was this? 20 years.
So that would have been 20...
What was it we said? 21, 22 years?
21 years it would have been. And he never knew.
Jesus.
And I told him, and I went down, because I actually went down to speak at a mental health seminar at Commander Training Centre, Royal Marines in Exmouth, in Limpston, near Exmouth, and my friend lives in Exmouth. So I stayed at his place and told him that day.
That's good wine, by the way.
It's rather nice, actually.
It's rather nice. Oh. What did he say?
Well, he says, it's something I want to talk to you about. He's in that video, because I'd put it out on video, but I didn't mention his name. And he went...
He was starting to put the pieces together.
And he was like, it was me, wasn't it? I was like, yep. So, yes, there was hugs and drinks and much merriment.
It's crazy because we've only known each other for, what's that now, a year and a half?
Yeah.
A year and a half-ish?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
No. Almost a year and a half, is it? Aye.
Must be a year and a half.
Easily,
a year and a half, yeah.
And I feel as comfortable talking to you about this stuff as anyone I've ever known. You have got a quality about you that a lot of people, I'm not saying most, There's a lot of great people in the world. I love people. I'm a big
great people out there.
Yeah, there are. And we talk a lot about, like we spoke about people today. We speak about Simon Sinek, Tony Robbins,
Yes,
Joe Dispenza. There's someone that I'm really, really engaged with right now called Brene Brown.
yes,
You know Brene Brown?
yes, I do.
Oh my God.
Well, not personally, obviously, but
yeah. Wow. These people, they're talking about that. She's a shame researcher, and the things that she speaks about. When I look at them, I see you. When I look at them, I see you. I think the work that you're doing, the work that you have done, is nothing compared to what you are about to do. I think you are someone that is gonna save. You are saving lives. You are.
I think there's I can hand on heart say that I know of probably a handful,
And that's enough.
because they've told me.
And that's enough. That's a handful that wouldn't be if you had fucking succeeded.
But how many,
If that guy hadn't come, that guy hadn't got in his car that night. That's a handful that's a handful that might not be here now.
Yeah, well, and I wouldn't be with my wife and kids.
Yes. I mean, let's be honest,
That's,
right? I mean, they are. I can't believe they're still with him, man. You fucking nutter.
How they put up
How
with
they
me,
put up with you?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I
my
can think of a million reasons why, because you are a charming, attractive, wonderful father who has provided, even after all this shit.
let's have babies.
Let's have baby. It's a fucking privilege, my fucking brother.
Likewise.
It is a privilege. I'm glad that we're doing this, because I did not want to have a regular discussion on a fucking video like people do. I think we're past that.
Well,
I think we've moved beyond that shit.
yes, agreed.
Yeah.
And also, there's so much stuff out there that's so stuffy and uptight and not real. It's so false.
Yes. I mean, this is just like
Honest.
one. This is the first one that we've done together, and we haven't got the lighting. We're sitting we're sitting in your kitchen.
Yes.
Having beers and wine and crisps. You know.
Yep.
The fact is that if two people can sit down with this on a fucking phone and have this conversation, and it's not the fact that you've written a book, but that's just a thing.
It's a fucking arseache.
But it's the fact that the intent behind the book. It's the intent that is behind the book. It's the intent that was behind every keystroke. It's the intent that's behind the hope that once that book is out there, that you might reach somebody. And you're fucking doing it, mate. And
Well,
that's what I admire.
You know, there's a course that came kind of in the process of writing the book, but not everybody wants or needs to have a qualification.
Okay.
But I hand on heart believe that everyone can benefit from learning these techniques.
So where do people get them? Where do we get them?
You can buy on Amazon.
Right, what's the name of the book?
The book is called The Immediate Care Process.
You heard it here. The Immediate Care Process. Go and purchase this book. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I know this man personally. He's a big fucking child.
Guilty.
Go and buy the book, because it's gonna fucking open your eyes, open your mind, and it's gonna open your fucking heart.
Yeah, because this shit is simple. You know, people are very often led to believe that to be able to claw somebody back from the edge of suicide, or to claw yourself back from the edge of whatever shitstorm you're involved in, has to be difficult, but it doesn't.
Say that again.
It doesn't have to be complicated.
Say that again.
It doesn't have to be difficult to claw yourself or anybody else back from the edge. It's a lot fucking easier. Not all the time, but in many cases, it's a lot easier than people have been led to believe. There's a lot of bullshit and flannel out there. And the whole point of this course and ultimately the book was to get it out to as many people as possible so that people can read for themselves how fucking easy it can be. I had a guy phone me as a Welsh police officer who bought my book, who I'm going to be talking with. I won't mention his name yet until I've spoken to him about promoting his name publicly. But he deals with crisis negotiation, hostage negotiation, and he read my book. We've been speaking for about 6-8 months, and he used this with one of his officers who'd witnessed a fatal.
So someone he's in charge of.
Yeah. This officer had witnessed a fatal road traffic collision, and
that's awful.
Yeah, I mean,
that's awful.
Yeah, that's just carnage, absolute carnage. And this guy was obviously upset, and rightly so, because it's no, that sort of thing is never pleasant to be first on scene to, or any way, shape or form. And the guy was pacing down the garage, and he taught this guy the first technique in the process.
From your techniques.
Yep, and it was it's called a negative thought pattern interrupt, which basically does what it says in the tin.
Tell me about that.
Basically, when your head's up your arse and in a flat spin, it's like this big shitstorm tornado in your head spinning round and round.
People watching this know what that's like.
Yeah, most
We've
people.
all been there.
It's a metaphor that, because I can't say the other one because it's just sound like you're pissed anyway. It's a metaphor that has kind of seems to be globally accepted, really, and understood and appreciated. Is you have this dark, shitty tornado in your head that's very negative, and when we get in a negative thought pattern, our thinking gets blinkered.
Yeah.
And we can't see any good. All we can see is the shit that's in front of us, all this shit that's spinning around. You're right in the middle of it. And the more you try and stop it, and the more other people try and help you to stop it, it's more like it's just fuel to the fire.
Yes. And
it gets worse and worse and worse. It gets bigger, darker, stronger, more powerful. And so what this essentially does is takes the wind out of it, takes the energy out of it by disconnecting or loosening the emotional connection to the thoughts that are the problem.
Say that again.
It helps to disconnect or reduce the intensity, and with the aim of potentially disconnecting the emotional connection to the thoughts that were the trigger.
That's really helpful.
So
let's say that you've got let's say you're a single mum, right, and you've got 2 kids.
Yep.
Financial worries, and the world's just fucking pouring down on you.
Yep.
Lost your job, or you can't get your work back. You're in the pandemic. Things have happened, right?
Yep.
We're not judging your parenting. We know you're a good mum. You're just in that. In that spin.
Absolutely.
How does this help her? Because what you're saying here is it's so powerful.
Well, thoughts are not the problem. It's the emotional label that we have connected to them that's a problem.
Okay, so it's not her thoughts.
It's not the thoughts. It's the emotions that we have, the emotional label that we have connected to those thoughts, and the feelings that are that are generated.
Like the charge behind it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because the emotions are a kind of a mental concept, whereas the emotions are is a kind of the physical representation of what's going on in your head.
Yeah, it's like the
two different things.
Yeah, no, I'm totally. I get that. I'm just trying to put it into words because I've got my own feelings on these kinds of things. I love what you're saying here. I know what you've got is going to help people watching this. I really want people to understand that what the work that you're doing is, it's changing lives, man. So like that, there's this concept. I think it's like a Buddhist concept, and I'm not into any of anything. I love all of it. I love all the books, all the beliefs, all the things. Right? Everything's got something good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Now, but the emotion that we have is just the representation of the intent that is behind it. There's like a charge behind it. But where the fuck does that come from? And we're getting into big shit here, or deep stuff, but you have found a way. You have found a way through this that is really fucking simple.
Yeah, it is surprisingly simple. You know, and I will, you know, in true kind of TV fashion, other options are available.
Well, look, there's other options, right? But let's be honest, right? If they were that fucking good, we wouldn't need any of them.
Well, yeah, you know,
I think people need to hear what you've got to say.
It's good to have choice, and this is another choice, and this is an eclectic mix of the most consistently successful tools that I've found in the last 20 odd years.
And this is coming from the guy who held a gun.
Yeah.
And was at peace.
Yeah. And I wish I'd fucking known it then. I wouldn't have needed my my pal to ring the doorbell and piss me off. Jared McDonald, bless you, mate. Love you, brother.
Yes, to you, Jared. What do you want to say to anybody watching this right now who's going through some shit?
Anybody who's going through some shit, no, there'll be an extraordinarily large number of people probably.
Yeah.
Because times are hard.
People are gonna listen to you. Yeah. They're gonna listen to this. They're gonna be watching this. This is gonna get shoved around because this is not a normal conversation.
You're right there.
It's not, is it? I mean, I'm gonna be pretty honest here. I was not expecting this. I knew that if I set this camera in front of a pair of us, something great would happen. And some little part of me, some little childlike part of me, thought we would have a giggle and make fun of each other and be daft.
Well, we've ticked all the boxes so far.
True. But I was not expecting this, and it's a rare gift, man.
Never know what comes from a conversation, do you?
Yeah, and this is the first of many, I think.
I'd like to think so.
Because, not many people are willing to sit down right now and talk about this at this level. You have got something that's helping people, and I want them to know it. The immediate care process, go and fucking buy that book. But what would you say to people right now going through that shit, like really?
I think the essence of it all is really when you think that everything, you know, you're done, just pause. Before you make a decision, pause, take a step back, even if it's only in your own mind. Take a step back, take a breath, because there are always choices, but this negative mindset just kind of blinkers us into thinking and focusing just on the shit that's going on rather than the opportunities that are there. So pause, breathe, and look around at what you can do rather than what you can't do, because there are always options. There's always somebody out there who will help, who will give you just that little bit of, even if it's just a morale boost. It doesn't have to be monumentally large and earth-shattering in the way that it helps, but sometimes it's just the small things that make the biggest difference. So pause, definitely pause. Don't make rash decisions. When you feel your head's up your arse and spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour, stop, take a step back. And even physically, if you're sat in a chair at your home and you're at your wit's end and you think the world's gonna fucking end and there's no other options and you're just staring at that fucking final solution, just pause. Even get up out your chair, go into a different room, go to the toilet. You know, I've had somebody who said, I got up off a chair and I went and had a dump. As ridiculous as it might sound, they went to the toilet and literally cleared their mind. And it's a joke, but it's a
But it
joke.
works.
It's a joke with with a powerful purpose. You know, so there are always options and there's always choice. Even when you think you're in your fucking darkest moments, so please just keep looking and just fucking ask for help. Don't be too proud. Don't be too stubborn. Don't be too stupid like most of us blokes are.
Like I said to you earlier on today, when I came here, I said to you, like, oh, I needed this today.
Yeah.
I said that to you.
You did?
And you stopped and you kind of looked at me and you were like, you know.
Good effort.
Yeah, good effort. That's what you said to me. You said good effort. And, you know, I told you about some of the stuff I was going through yesterday.
Yes.
And I think people are under the illusion that I have got all my shit figured out. For I do not.
Nope.
And I'll never have it all figured out.
No, anyone who says they have is a fucking liar.
Yes, they are. I'm just a man. I'm not some super being, you know. I have got so many flaws and so many fucking things that are, God, that need worked on and need smoothed over, but I always know I can ask for help.
Yes.
Always. And sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah, of course it is.
Sometimes it's difficult, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, like yesterday I said to you, I can't come down today. I was going through some shit. And in the back of my mind I was like, go there tomorrow. Because if you turn it into Monday and you haven't gone to see him, you're just going to be pulling the weekend through into Monday.
I'd be trousers down 6 the best when I find out.
Simon, we need to do more of this, but I just want to say thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And listen, mate, I'm going to do something that a lot of people don't know. I'm going to give you a big hug. Honestly, mate. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. So proud of you, man.
Likewise, mate.
Honestly, man.
Likewise.
Honestly.
It's good shit.
You're a man of fucking honour. And I love you and I respect you for this shit, man. I do.
Love you too, man.
There's a lot of fucking guys don't do this shit. And I want to set an example here. That 2 guys can sit in a fucking kitchen, have a couple of beers, some crisps and wine, and talk shit.
And some good shit.
That's some good shit.
Yeah.
Some good shit. So, here's to you.
Some high quality shit.
Here's to yous.
Cheers.
And we'll see you in episode 2.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
I like that.